And I figured, you know what, if I come here and everybody signs up and pays full price and all of that, and then tomorrow you go, hey, wait a minute, if I waited a day, I could get a special price. If I'm in your shoes, I go, oh, that's a raw deal. So I've asked for permission, and they've allowed me to give it to you all here today. If you do sign up, you get the first 2 months of service free. So all you'd be billed up front is just this setup fee, and you don't pay the monthly fee at all for the next 60 days.
Okay, packages up here,
Yes.
is it IDX or the website options? Or you're saying you have to choose both of them? One.
No, my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, you all have websites already, right?
Well, we're in the process of evaluating websites.
Oh, okay.
So one, I mean, a couple of things we're trying to look at. One, we're looking at a total office, if you're offering an office stuff, and if
Correct.
that's including the agents themselves. Because I know, like in some cases, like you're saying, a property page or whatnot. We know in some cases you can have an office website, and each agent have a sub website, if you will. In a sense, so I want to determine the difference between an office website, what that entails, opposed to just an agent, and then if an agent do or do not have their website, the main thing we want to have control over the IDX feed. So whether we have separate ones or not, we want the IDX feed as the main.
Got it. Okay.
The main thing we're looking at.
Okay. So let me answer kind of all of that. Starting off first of all with the office website option here.
Mm-hmm.
What that gives you is essentially it's a single website to, of course, brand the office, focus the office, show the office. It has an agent roster page, which will list every agent in the company on a single page. It does not give a single website to every agent. That's not part of the office site, but it does, show the agent roster. And because it's MRIS, we pull all the information from the broker code, build that automatically. So what's nice is there's no manual work on the part of you. You don't have to build each new agent's page and all that stuff. It pulls the agent's information and does that. It also pulls all the listings from everybody in the office and displays them on the site under our office listings link or button. Okay, so that's what the office site will do. And it's intended for single offices. So your company is single office, right? Multiple locations. So that's perfect. It's also intended for offices that have 50 or fewer agents. So again, you would qualify for this. This would be perfect, and I've got a lot of folks that have that fall into your similar kind of situation. And again, it's nice because it is MRIS, so and this includes IDX. You don't pay extra for the IDX there. So everything is funneled in automatically. Everything is updated automatically, including the agent roster and all that stuff, like I mentioned.
But you said it is not an individual piece for each agent. So say, for instance, if somebody came to look for Angela at Next Stage First, would they pull up her listing and her face with the property or whatever? Because my old company, Fairfax did something like that, and and I didn't even know it, but just about being an agent there, every time they looked for something, and if it was my listing, it just went to Chris's website, but under Fairfax. I mean, it was something we didn't have to pay no extra for because the office had it.
Right. The office website doesn't build a full website for every agent under the company. Okay, it will feature every agent on the roster page, and I'm going to try to see if I can pull up an example here.
Okay.
Yeah, here's an example.
Okay.
These folks are in Annapolis, and this is an office website.
Okay.
So you see the office roster page here? And they've done some customizing and stuff, but this is one of the designs that you could choose from of the different designs. So here, office roster then
Oh, no, it wasn't like
pulls
that.
and creates a roster page. So it has a list of everybody. Now if I click on an agent, any agent for example. Okay, so it has a single page, like a profile page. Not a full website, but it gives a profile page for each agent and then the list of all the agents in there. So that's what the office website does. Okay.
It's just not bad because if they can still click on the view agent listing, they see what your listings are.
Correct.
Could
It will. Yeah.
Could you put a link if you had your own website on this profile
I
page?
believe it will allow you to do a link for each agent to their website. Yes. Yeah. If they have a website and they put that in their profile in MRIS, then that will come over. Yes. See here, this is an example of one where it's coming over to his website. It looks like. Yeah. So yes, any agents that have their own website, you can have a link from here to their website. Right. So there's a way to get there that way, but you have to have your own website to do that. correct. And then going back to the other, and it's on the form here or here as well, Exact Site, Select, Premium, and Total are the 3 individual agent website options. We focus primarily on just the property search itself, but we do have 3 agent website options. Those include IDX as part of it. Let me do this. The Exact Site, Select, Premium, and Total give you a full website with property search with all the features in there. They're template based, so they have different designs you can choose from. You can choose this design, for example, or any of them. Here are just a few different examples. You can change your design anytime that you want to. Maybe you like this design, but you say, you know what, I don't do a lot of business in downtown DC. You can change out the banner picture. You can put your own picture in there or another picture from the library photos. You can change the text. You can add pages. You can add pictures. You can add video even on your site. The 3 different agent options. Select gives you 18 designs, and then you get more designs as you move up in levels. With Select, you get the website and the content. It comes pre-built for you. So for those of you that have the, was it 0.2, I guess, sites, it'd be similar to that in terms of it comes pre-built with all the content in place. Buyer's tips, seller's tips, all that. You get the IDX property search included at no extra cost. You also get a mobile website. Let me show you that in just a second. That's pretty cool, actually. And then you get the registration options we talked about where people can create an account, save searches, etc. If you want to add pages to your site, even though it comes built with all the pages you need, if you want to add a bio page or a testimonials page, you can add up to 5 pages there. Then when you move up in levels to Premium and Total, you get additional marketing tools here. Okay, so you get, see the contact manager, the drip campaigns, and the flyers we talked about that are included in IDX. Those are included in the Premium website. And you can add up to 20 pages, and then there are a couple of additional features in total. Let me show you that too. But what's nice about the full Exact Site websites as opposed to just IDX is you get a mobile website included with it. Now what does that mean? Do you know if you go to your website, anybody's website here, anybody's 0.2 agent website, if you go to that on a smartphone, does it look the same on the phone as it does up here? Is it different? It is. Because a lot of real estate websites, when you pull it up on a mobile device, it looks the same here and here. And that's a problem, right? Because you end up doing this number and pinching and trying to type in there, and it's hard to use if it looks the same. So, but the Exact Site websites recognize automatically when I pull up DarrenKipfer.com, this is what you see for my demo Exact Site website. When you pull it up on the phone, it automatically recognizes it's being pulled up on a mobile device, and that's what you see. It's built for the small screen automatically, okay? So it has your picture, your phone number, your email address, your company logo, 4 buttons, and it works with the GPS built into the phone. So the top button says, find nearby properties. So I'm out driving around the neighborhood or whatever, I see a for sale sign, I can click that, and it's gonna go out and grab all the active listings and display them on my phone based on proximity. Isn't that cool? And this is not an app, there's nothing to download or install on the phone, okay? It's actually in the browser itself on the phone. Because there are like the Zillows and the Redfins and all that, they have apps. But then you have to download them, install them. This actually, you just go to the website in the browser and it automatically gives. So you can pull it up on an iPad, you can pull it up on a laptop, you can pull it up on an iPhone, Droid, whatever, and it'll automatically give the correct version of the website, and that's included as part of the service. And then a lot of the stuff we've seen, adding pages to your site if you can use Microsoft Word. Okay, it's an editor like Microsoft Word. You can type right in there, copy and paste. And then we've seen the search functionality that again is included with that.
What about adding video?
You can add video to your site. In fact, I've added RBI video. Are you all familiar with RBI? Real Estate Business Intelligence. It's a company owned by MRIS. If you go to the website rbintel.com, you can actually grab the Market Watch video. They do a new Market Watch video every month. Okay, and you can actually put the video for this. These are really well done. In this case, 2 minutes, 48 seconds. They're about 2 to 2.5, 3 minutes or so each month. And you can grab one for, they do one for each region under MRIS, so you can grab one for this region, put that video into your website. It's good information for you, statistics and information, market trends, that kind of thing. But it's also really good information for your clients. And these are free to grab and put on your website.
What's the web for RBM?
It's
Intel with
rbintel.com.
one L or two?
One.
Okay.
So rbintel.com. And there's a tab at the top that says video. And you can actually grab the code to embed in your website for this. And the code includes the ability for it to automatically update itself. So you put the Market Watch video out here once, you forget about it, and next month when the new video comes out, it updates on your site.
Okay.
We like automated, right? We like put it out, forget it, and I don't have to touch it ever again.
Forget it.
So yes, you can do this. You can put your own videos out here if you do like a bio or something about yourself or anything, you can embed those on the site as well. But that, and then premium, like I say, includes all that stuff, plus the contact manager, the drip campaigns, and the flyers. That's included in the premium, the middle website. And then the top website, the total, what do you all use for a CMA? Use the free one we give you? Okay, everybody? So I find about 95% of people do, and that's great. We're happy that you're using the free one. But we also have a lot of folks saying sometimes it'd be nice to have something a little different, a little variety, right? So we built in a new CMA here to the total package. I had an agent last November, December. So Darren, I went into a listing presentation. I had my carefully prepared CMA that I'd done, tucked up under my arm, right? I went in, sat down on the couch, looked at the coffee table, and there were 3 other CMAs sitting there that looked identical to the one that I was holding. Well, it didn't really help me stand out for my competition. So the total package gives you a new, different CMA. There's my subject, do my search. And you can choose whatever, tons of pages built into it. You can choose however many, which pages you want. Check the boxes, hit print, and now you've got a CMA that looks completely different from everybody else. And then lastly, that's included in the total package is what we call the buyer's tour. When you take buyers out and show them homes, how many homes do you show them roughly on average in a given day?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay, that's
Five
what.
at the top.
All right. A lot of times between 6 and 8 is kind of an average, but keeping it down 3 or 4 is nice. I had somebody once say 35.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No, we have an understanding this office or whatnot. If you're showing a client more than 3 houses, then somebody's not communicating.
Then there's something wrong.
Something wrong.
Right, exactly. Well, and what's nice too about the whole thing here, the whole website part of it is why do people use the internet to search for properties? Well, to eliminate properties that aren't going to work for them, right? So you actually physically hop in the car and take them to fewer homes when they're doing a lot of this searching online. So, but even, let's say even you take them to 4, okay? They still get confused sometimes.
Yes.
They blend together, they can't remember the details, right? The buyer's tour package is intended to give you something nice, a nice concrete tool to hand to them. Kind of like a CMA where you go through here, the 4 properties, you print off some pages, staple it, and hand them a packet. It gives a nice cover page here. And then it has a single sheet for each listing. Here's the main picture here, the details of the property. The bottom third of the page is a place for them to make notes. So as they're walking through the property and they want to remember stuff, they can write stuff down, make notes, remember what they've seen, keep them straight. It'll also keep track that in your account, you know, the Smith family, boom, they've looked at these ones, the Jones, they looked at these, you know. So it'll keep track of that for you that way as well. But again, it's a nice packet with information. It lines up the properties also on a separate page with the features, so I can compare the features. And then there's some, you know, buying home tips and things like that. You can optional pages that you can choose to include with it.
Now, would this be? Can we utilize this and say when we send it? Can we send it via email so it's something they can look at in their own time prior to going out?
Yeah, but not easily because this, I believe, will save the whole thing as a PDF.
Okay.
So if you do like 20 pages of PDF, it's going to be a pretty large file. It's possible. It's intended more to print off and hand to them when you're taking them out and physically they've got something in their hands to take a look at.
They're gonna be writing contract.
Exactly.
Exactly. Look, all that ink.
Yeah, they're behind the big.
But that's kind of the. Did that help? Did I give a quick version of what
Okay,
all
so
these
the-
options are?
And it comes with the IDX, so you don't have to add this.
Correct. You don't have to pay for both. A lot of real estate websites you pay for the site, well, like point 2, right? And then you got to pay IDX separate. Okay. And you can do that if you like your point 2 site. If that's what you have and you just need the search, you can get that and plug that in there. But the property search is the most important part of your website. But yes, if you don't have something or you want to get the full integrated exact site website, you can do select, premium, or total, and that includes no extra cost. You don't have to pay for both. You just pay for the site and you get IDX with it.
Okay, and that's the promotion as well, 2 months free,
Correct, yes.
no sign-up fee?
She's good, I like that. They won't let me waive the sign-up fee. You pay the sign-up fee, but you do get the first 2 months of service free. And again, with all of them, you get the initial 30 days to see what you think. You can cancel. They don't refund the setup fee, but you are permitted to cancel. If you like it, then it's a 1-year agreement.
Okay.
What other questions? Well, what I'll say, what I really like about the Select Premium and Total, the websites with IDX, especially is that mobile functionality. It gives you the search functionality built for the small screen. I'm not looking to move anytime soon, but I use my website on the go all the time. How many of you can get to the internet on your phone right now? Okay, most if not all of you, right? You know, last weekend I was at my in-laws, weekend before I was at my in-laws neighborhood, or home, they're down the street about 10 minutes from us, and there was a for sale sign, so I pulled over, stopped, put it in park. Yes, I did, before I pulled up the phone. So, and then right there I'm looking at the for sale sign, and I'm curious about the house, so I click, I'm looking at the house, and now I can see all the information in MRIS right there as I look at the house, all 30 pictures, the price, the information about it. You know, when we moved to Maryland, it'll be 10 years ago this summer, we'd have a couple properties we researched beforehand. We'd come into town. We were about 3 hours away. We'd come into town, drive around, see the properties, and then we'd spend the weekend driving through the neighborhood looking for more for sale signs, right? We saw something of interest for sale, so we'd take out a pen, write down the address, go home, hop on the computer, and look it up.
Right.
Nobody does that anymore. Boom, they're right there. Now they can get it right as they're looking at the house. Of course, anytime I use my phone or my website, or anytime any one of your clients or prospects uses it, not only are they seeing the listing information, but they're also seeing you, right? Your face there, your contact info. Again, we want to keep those connections with folks, whether they're actively looking or not, because when they are somebody to know, you buy or sell, like I said, we want them to think of us first. Other questions?
Are you familiar with Listing Book?
I am, somewhat.
So instead of using that for your buyer, you can sign them up for this one, and they'll be on your site.
Yeah, because this will give you the full site as well. Yeah. I mean, I've got some people that use both of them and like both. But if you're looking to do one thing, you got to have a website.
Right.
You got to have a website, a real website with real presence. I've been doing technology marketing real estate for about a dozen years, and the question that real estate agents used to get asked was, do you have a website? That's obsolete now. The question is, what is your website, right? And it kind of evens the playing field. They don't know if you just started in the business last week or if you've been in for 35 years, but it helps set that expectation. 86% of the public expects the realtor to be tech savvy. Hey, go to my website. Oh, I noticed you've got an iPhone. Pull up my website. I want to show you something.
I guess the question, I mean, we evaluated another website last week, I think it was, and it's a company out of DC. They do have their own app. So, for instance, someone is buying around the neighborhood or whatnot. It's one thing to be able to put on a website, but if they had my app and my app started generating or whatnot, then it's still ready to me. Now, for instance, we do have our own real estate app.
Okay.
That we already created.
Cool.
I wondered if there's some way that that could be integrated, because a lot of people just run around. We see a sign or for sale sign or whatnot. If they don't know how to get to my particular website, I'm not nowhere near their mind at the moment. But they had my app on their phone or whatever, that's more or less on the cutting edge to the point of saying, okay, boom, wherever I'm at, I can think about Johnny because it's going to show me everything that's in this neighborhood, and Johnny's associated with all of this. Opposed to trying to find Johnny's website just like everybody else's website, or website on someone's marketing sign.
Right.
Okay.
And that's great. If you got your own app, that's fantastic. That actually gives you both sides of it now. Because you've got the app, and then this would be the website itself in the browser without an app. So you cover actually both sides of it. And you can, one way to push them to the mobile website is QR codes. Are any of you using QR codes?
No, but I was going to ask about
This is super, to me, this gets me really excited because this is, everybody out there is using QR codes.
Yeah.
Quick response is what it stands for if you're not familiar, and I'll explain how it works on both the creating side of things and on the using side of things. And these are showing, if you start paying attention, I mean, we've seen them everywhere, but if you start really paying attention, they show up every day, and even in ways where I go, I never thought about doing it like that, I mean, I was in my son's high school a couple weeks ago, and there are QR codes on posters throughout the school, everywhere. Which is funny, because they're not supposed to use cell phones in their school. So I don't know why, but I took my kids to the Baltimore Aquarium last summer, and on a lot of the aquarium windows there are QR codes. Hey, you want to learn more about this shark or this ray or this creature? And I scanned it with my phone, and it brought me to a YouTube video about that particular creature, whatever it was. What these are, they're kind of like UPC codes.
Yeah.
Okay, you see them in food products and all that sort of thing. You walk through Target, and they're with the little guns going, bleep, bleep, right? It has information in it. There are a few ways to use it. The way I like to talk and use mostly are using this as a forwarding tool to your website. If you go to Google and type in QR code generator, there are different websites, free ones, that will create the QR codes for you. So if you've got your own website, again, mine is my name, DarrenKipfer.com. This is one of them. This is the one I use. You don't have to use this. This is just an example, okay? I typed in my web address, www.darrenkipfer.com. Then I click this button here, Generate. Generate automatically created the QR code for DarrenKipfer.com for my website. You right mouse click on it. This is an image. You save the image file to your computer, and now you can take the QR code and put it on your marketing materials. So for example, most business cards have 3 lines of info, right? Your name, your email address, and your phone number. First thing you want to do is put your website address on there, because we hand these out to everybody, right? And what happens to 99.9% of them? They get chucked, right? If you have your website on there, they pull up your website on their computer and then chuck the card, they have your website here. They can always come back, they can always find you later. Now secondly, now mine isn't a good example because they put MRIS on there and I can't change that, but if your card's blank on the back, it's a good opportunity to put a QR code that directs them to your website. As I already mentioned, 86% of the public expects their realtor to be tech savvy. If I hand you my business card that has a QR code on the back, whether even I know what it is, I'll recognize it and say, well, does that give the impression, tech savvy agent? Absolutely. Now, so the first side, again, is creating it right here. That's free. The second side is on any smartphone, iPhone, Android, BlackBerry. You can download an app, and there are free ones that will scan, QR code scanner or a QR code reader. They will scan this and forward automatically to wherever this is set to go. So, for example, this is my scan app, my QR code scan app, and you can see it's just a little QR code symbol.
Yeah.
There are different ones, but again, they're free ones. You download it, then you click on it, and it's like taking a picture, okay? You'll see it opens up the camera and see that it has the box around where you'd line up the QR code. Okay, now you don't even have to click anything, you just hold it up there and outline the QR code. It automatically recognizes it and forwards to that website, in this case DarrenKipfer.com, and since it's pulling up my exact site website, which has the mobile, you get the mobile version of it. So you can put that on your business cards. You can put that on, in fact, here's my example, put it on a flyer. Or a sign writer, you've seen with sign writer? Remember the way that both IDX and the exact site websites are built, it opens each listing in its own window. So you create a QR code specific to the listing from that one listing page. So now, 10 years ago, again, driving around, see a house I'm interested in, I take out my pen and write it on a piece of paper. If there's a flyer, I yank the flyer, go home and look it up. Now, I create the flyer, and in the exact site websites, there's a flyer in there that you can put a QR code on it. Okay? But I pull in front of a house, there's a flyer there or a sign writer with a QR code. I scan it, and as I'm looking at the house now, I'm looking at that property on my phone, all the MRIS data, all the photos, the status, the price, all that stuff right here. And that's an internal page to your website, so I get all of your contact information there as well. Does that make sense? So there's some really cool stuff that you can do with all of this, and where you can drive them to your personal site to get them right there.
Okay, so we put a QR code on our flyers. Okay, I see a free one. I see a couple of free ones.
Yeah.
Because on our app, we got the QR scan on the app.
We do?
Yeah, on the
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
This is our app actually.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to
Okay,
figure out
so
a way
yeah,
to
you do the
embed
QR
that
code
in there.
scan, you can do that, and it'll pull it up within the app itself, which is nice. Yeah. Yeah.
We just gotta find a way now to probably, we gotta find a way to
QR code.
embed all our listing QR codes in the app when they search for
Right.
our listings. And because if they once they pull up our list with the QR code or whatnot, that'll put them in the exact neighborhood or whatnot, and they'll still be on our app
Mm-hmm.
to fund out from that point to search for other houses in the neighborhood and still show up.
So for those of you with agent websites through Point 2 or elsewhere, how much do you pay for your agent website? Do you know?
I don't know what Sid paying for, but it ain't doing me no good, because I don't know how, it's not simple like this to set up.
Okay.
It's not.
Because it may be, I mean, a lot of cases, and again, I don't know for sure, but a lot of cases with real estate websites, since you're paying for the site on one hand, and then you have to pay for IDX separately, which is what
Exactly.
Point 2 has,
Exactly.
you end up paying a couple different fees, twice as much. So the nice thing again about doing the IDX is you'd have one fee and it would be lower because you don't pay extra for the IDX. And it would also include that mobile website as another option, and extension to the mobile app that you have.
Correct. Now, I think it works out pretty good because again, we do have a site, and Point 2 is one of the ones that we evaluate now. And we was trying to go ahead, and one of the reasons we called was about getting the IDX
Right.
feed into it.
Right.
You know, but again, when I called you, I'm like, okay, we already paying for MRIS and whatnot, and being
Yeah.
that, you know, you can packet everything into one particular scenario, it works out better. Works out better, and like you said, it's to me, it's common sense. If you got MRIS and your house is coming from MRIS, it'll do automatic automation feed
Yeah.
into whatever program you're utilizing. You know, it's somewhat of a no-brainer.
As a buddy actually said to me, he put it really well. He said, if you want to watch NFL, go to the NFL, right? If you got MRIS, why go to a third party that can feed you the data? We can go directly to MRIS. So either way, whether you do it as a site or IDX, I think both would be an option. You have to look at, you know, if it's going to be less expensive and if you like the exact site option.
Correct. Well, I think for the most part, everyone, if I can speak for us, for the most part, we're looking for the most easy and least time-consuming scenario, of course, and least expensive as well. But the most integrated, the most tech savvy for the least expensive. The least expensive. Yeah, we emphasize least expensive.
Which is nice.
Yeah. You know, so it sounds good. I mean, do you have any other questions?
And I guess the last thing I'll leave you with, and I'll be here, you know, answering other questions and such. But the last thing I'll leave you with is, since again we have your information for those folks that, you know, you say, I would like to have a site or I'd like to have IDX, whatever. We pull your information from your account, which we already have, so we can build it and set it up. You can actually have a full website with all this stuff live. I say 24 hours, but usually it's same day I have it built and set up for you, which saves you a lot of headache having to put stuff in there because it's pretty much ready to go out of the box in terms of everything being there. You have the option of adding a lot to it if you want to, but if you say, I just want to have a site and I don't really want to do much with it, it's pretty much good to go from the beginning. I have some brochures here that I can give to you as well. Since I thought we were talking mostly about IDX, I wasn't going to hand it because this has stuff about all of them. But this has the information about the websites and the search and all that. It has the features for all the different agent websites, etc. So if you want one of those, you may take those as well for information.
Thank you.
And then for those of you that are signing up, I have for you a sheet that I will give you. This is what happens next in terms of getting started with it. And again, you get the email confirmation that it's set up, you get the phone call from the person, thank you very much, that will set up an appointment with you and walk you through. One more thing, if you'll quickly permit me, and then I get excited about all this stuff because I really enjoy doing this, and I know that this is a fantastic product and it's fun representing this with MRIS. So, but you know, cut me off at any time. But I had a client actually who was interested but didn't know much about it. I talked to him a little bit about it, and he sent me this via email and said, "Have you ever seen this?" I said, "No." It's a tool through Google that measures effectiveness of mobile websites. And he plugged in my mobile website into this tool that Google does, and it printed off like within a minute, like 10 pages or whatever about it, and even did a picture of my site and all that automatically. But it said, first of all, the site loaded in 0.54 seconds. That's faster than what most mobile users expect. In fact, close to 50% will wait just 5 seconds and they'll leave if it doesn't come up. So this came up 10 times faster than that. It also said DarrenKipfer.com scored 5 out of 5 on the mobile friendliness scale. So as far as mobile websites, this is, again, the top of the top, which I had never seen this report before, but the fact that Google came back and said, hey, you got a good mobile website there, I was kind of excited about that. So, at any rate, other questions?
That's what you do for the database. So you can do your drip campaign and stuff like that.